Have you ever dreamt of a better version of you? Well, I hope not, because this movie will make you not want to. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and if you are new here, welcome. Thank you for stopping by. Thanks for clicking on my video. I appreciate you. Okay. Anyways, so I went to go see Substance, and guys, that movie is wild. It was wild. It was an eye opener. Extreme, like you're kind of just like, other parts you're laughing because it is really funny. It was dark too. It was really dark. That movie was dark. But it had such a good meaning to it, you know? I feel like so many of us, we look in the mirror and we have those moments, I guess you would say, where we beat up on ourselves and, well, I wish my eyes were this color, or I wish my hair was, you know, longer, or I don't know, whatever people complain about. Like, you know, oh, I wish I was like skinnier, and I'm older now and I'm not younger. Like, it was it's so much that we complain about and we beat ourselves up on so much. And I'm telling you, if you have like self-body issues or anything like that, I would watch this movie because it would really make you love yourself. The crap that Demi Moore's character put herself through just to be young again. I'm like going ahead, but the process of what she had to do in order to get, it's like, and then the thing about it is, she didn't even like, it's not, so okay, I'm jumping ahead. The whole movie, it was just like, okay. So if you don't want to hear about it, I would give it a 10 out of 10. Go watch it. Go, I mean, it's on some kind of streaming network. I know it is because it's not in theaters anymore. Just go watch it. Now, for everyone else who actually wants to talk about it and hear about it, stay with me here. Okay, so Demi Moore's character, she is this, how would it, like she was like the Jane Fonda of like her time, you know? So Demi Moore's character, she was at the peak of her career, which I hate that. You know, women in the business were always, you have a peak, or oh my gosh, she's this old now and that old now, and she's not in her 20s no more. Excuse me? And what's your point? Like, guys can be in the business for, you know, till they're 80 years old and still be praised and still be put in bald, fat, you know, messed up, or it doesn't matter. But when it comes to a woman, there's so many stereotypes and standards that you have to meet, and I hate that so much. Like, it's not just the abuse that goes behind the scenes, the rape that goes behind the scenes, the nastiness that goes behind the scenes, but it's also just like the stupid, annoying, aggravating so-called standard that is in the business that needs to freaking stop, because it doesn't matter what your age is, you know? And then at the same time, they have like this backwards, you know, it's one moment they're telling you, oh, be who you are. Be who you are, it's completely fine. Love everyone, be happy. But then on the other hand, they're saying, oh, you're too fat. Oh, you're too old. Oh, you're too this, you're too that. Which is it? You know, it's like, that's why you have to love yourself and be happy with what you see in the mirror. Because if you allow this world to tell you who you should be, what you should look like, you know, you're not good enough, you're not the right race, or whatever, X, Y, and Z, it will literally mess you up. That's why you have so many celebrities who are like black, you know, and other races that they go in black, and then when they're in there, they somehow, their skin's lightened. Like, and you're like, wait a minute, something's not right. It's just, it's a lot, guys. It's a lot that goes on behind the scenes. But anyways, so she's at the peak of her career in the studio that she works with, the whole workout aerobics system that she has, that she like films with. They don't want her anymore. So she goes to use the bathroom, and it's, the women's bathroom is like closed. So she goes to the men's bathroom. And so one of the high execs, who is played by Dennis Quaid, which Dennis Quaid is what Dennis Quaid, like, he played that role. You just want to punch him in the face. So she's using the bathroom, but he comes in and he's like on the phone. He's like, yeah, we need someone younger. The bottom line is he's like, we're gonna get rid of her. So they go to dinner, and at dinner, which the scenes, how the scenes were done was so beautiful and exquisite, and it just made your skin crawl, and you're just like, ugh, like the framing was so beautiful. I had such an appreciation for the framing. She already knows she's getting fired, you know. It's this, the sucky part is it's her birthday. So it's her birthday, she gets fired, and then on top of it, she gets in a car accident. Like, damn, can she catch a break? That's the vibe. Can I catch a break? And so while she's in the doctor's office, she's like, she breaks down and cries, which rightfully so anybody would. And one of the nurses, he like gives her like a little note. So in the note, it's a number, and at first she doesn't like take it, you know. She kind of just like, no, you know. And then moving forward, she ends up calling it, you know, feeling the pressure of it. And it's like the process of what they have to go through in order to get this younger version of themselves, or this other version of themselves. So they had, okay, so you take the substance. I want to say like it clones you, because it's not really you. Like, it wasn't like she took it and she just became young. No, she took it and she split in half, and like another Margaret Qualley came out of her. Like, it was so gross. The other you, that's not you, but it's you. It's like, it's, oh my gosh, the movie's just so, it's really extreme. It will make you love your, like, I was sitting there like, oh my gosh, I am so sorry I ever said anything bad about you. I love me. I love me. Process of what she went through just to become this thing. I've just been told that I'm too old to continue on, which I have life in my body. How dare you? Like, no, I'm fine. And then she was still hot as hell, like, which, another sidetrack. Demi Moore and Margaret Qualley, oh my gosh, their bodies, like, it was funny because they had this couple that was watching the movie too, and you could tell his girlfriend, she kept just like, you know, looking over, like, you staring a little too hard. But I'm just like, girl, like, he can't, like, how can anyone help it? Their bodies are like, their boobs and vaginas are like right there on the screen, and it's there, you know. But they look so good, so good, so good, so beautiful. I was just like, wow. Like, and Demi Moore, that woman, it doesn't matter what age she is, she just looks so beautiful and so amazing, and I love her. And just, yeah. So anyways, I have to go to this sketchy part of town where it's like, that's not a red flag enough, you know. Like, you're going to like this little hole in the wall, run down warehouse looking place, and you go in and there's this, like, it's a room, it's all white, and like it's a locker, and you go in and you find your number and you get your little box that has the substance in it. I wasn't expecting that. I love movies where you don't see it coming, because I did not see that coming. It was passes out, and her spine, because when she was in the doctor's office, he like felt her up like on her spine. He was like, oh, you'll be a good candidate. And like when he said that, I was like, what the hell does that mean? Like, you know. And you find out why she's a good candidate. Just like gives birth to this Margaret Qualley clone, you know. You're just like, oh, I wasn't expecting that. Like, me, the whole audience, we were just like, what the is happening? Like, you're really just like, oh my gosh, what the hell am I watching? They give you all of the supplies of what you need for your clone and for you, but it's weird because like you have to sew yourself up. So my back gets split open Like literally split open, and now I have to sew myself back. I'll take the wrinkles. Just leave me alone. I'll take the wrinkles. I'm fine. I will get another job. I will play a granny on screen, but no thank you. No, absolutely not. Showing you the process of everything. It was kind of fun watching, because you're on this journey with her, and you're just like being the little Jiminy Cricket on her shoulder, where it's like, girl, please stop while you're ahead. Like, why are you doing this? Why? You know, it was one of those moments where you really want to scream at the screen and be like, stop. Like, what are you doing? Why do you hate yourself so much? But then I get why you would feel that way, but don't feel that way, because it doesn't matter if you're older. It's a process of life. So just, that movie was wild. And so anyways, and so then she like is this hot new version, and so, you know, the same studio that she was with, they're looking for the new next hot, you know, young girl. And so she's like, okay, like, let's go. So she goes and auditions, and there, of course, she already knows what to do, how to move X, Y, and Z. So she gets it, and it's you're kind of like, in the beginning, you're like, all right, like, I'm happy for her, because like, that's what you get, a-holes. Like, you know, like, you hired me. You hired me again, when you could have had this hotter, younger version, which I mean, she is hotter and younger version, but like, you get what I'm saying? Like, you still hired me again, which was hilarious. And so she's like going about her business, living her life and stuff like that, but she gets greedy. So with the substance, there's a specific amount of days. I think it was like 7 days. Like, you get 7 days of the younger you, but then you're stuck with the other you again. So, and I think she couldn't take that, you know. It was kind of just like, I'm back at it, you know. I want to continue on, and I want to be able to live my life again. I want to be famous and well known again, and I don't want to be pushed to the side. Like, she was going through it. She gets a little greedy with the time. There's a reason why they give you a certain amount of days. Starts blaming it on the younger version of her, or the clone version of her, or whatever the hell it was. And she's like, oh, she's spending so much time, she's going over the time, or something like that. And the person on the phone is just like, no, you are one. It's you. You are. How do you not get it? Like, it's you still. So stop going over your time of when you're supposed to. Like, we were all getting frustrated. Like, I love the audience that I was like sitting there watching the movie with, because we all were just like, oh my gosh, like, stop, like, quit, no, what are you doing? Because when you go over your time, the real you starts decaying. So you start like, literally, it's like she was already fine. That's what pisses me off. It was like, you were fine, and she made herself worse. First thing was like her finger. I think it was her finger. It just like, it got really funky. It got a little dark. It got a little crusty. Whether you like it or not, whether you like the old you or not, you still have to take care of you. You still have to make sure that, like, okay, you can't go over the time. You can't, you know, because if you do, then you become worse. Like, you. And so she became popular again, famous again, and well known. So that means more gigs, more this. So she kept going over her time and ruining herself to have this other version of herself longer. But it's like, in reality, you don't have it longer, because you still have to come back as you. So now you're stuck with this monstrous, oh my gosh, it got so bad. Stop doing this to yourself. But then like they started, her and the clone version of her started clashing. But it's really, in reality, it wasn't no other version. It was literally her the whole time, but they were fighting against each other, because they're like, you're taking all the time, and she's like getting mad and dirtying the place and ruining the place, and the clone is like getting pissed off at her, because it's like, why are you such a slob? Why are you like ruining everything? And it was sad. It was such a deep meaning. Like, when you watch the movie, you're just like, damn, like, how many of us actually go through these images, these we really do fight with ourselves so much. And it's sad, because be happy with who you are. Be happy with what you look like. I mean, you were created like that for a reason. I feel like if we all were supposed to have, you know, fake boobs, you know, and what is it called? Like Botox, no, fillers in our lips, and Botox, perfect stretched, you know, skin with no expression. Don't you think we all would like look like that, you know? Love you. Be happy with what you look like. It was funny because like for the movie, it was like Cinderella for the body, like TikTok bitch, like you're about to go back to the pumpkin's about to be smashed, like you're literally about to change, and she just kept going over, and you're just like, oh my gosh, like stop. Like you saw what happened already the first time with your hand, and then like why would you even want to? But she kept fighting with her inner self, because that's the way I looked at it. I felt like it was like her inner self, because it's a part of you, but even though it's not really your body, it still came out. Like, I don't know, you guys gotta watch it, and if you have seen it, like what was your outlook on it? Because I feel like that was like her inner self, you know what I'm saying? Because it's still her, even though it's not her. But your soul is some way, like, was attached. I don't know, but it was still her. And she was fighting with herself, but kept blaming it. It was like, she keeps going over all the time, and this, and the guys on the phone was just like, it's you. It's still you. you're one, or like something he said. And you're just like, oh my gosh, what are you not understanding? Stop. Quit doing this to yourself. Who you are is what is beautiful. You know, there's not just one definition of beauty. There's not just one definition of perfect. You know, everybody wants to be perfect, but what does perfect really mean? You know, perfect is the version of what you feel is perfect. If you're a size 2, great. You feel perfect, great. You think you look great, that's beautiful. If you're a size 27, great. Are you okay with being a size 27? That's the thing. I feel like if you're not happy with yourself, make those changes, but in a healthy way. Don't do it because you look at the person on TikTok or Instagram and you're just like, wow, I want to be that. I want to look just like that. And it's not reality half the time, you know? And you have to really learn who you are. I feel like a lot of people don't know who they are, and I was one of those people. I really didn't know who I was, because growing up, you know, in the toxic environment that I was, and not really have anyone, I always felt alone, so I didn't really know what it felt like to not only love myself, but to, yeah, I guess I would say that. Like, I really didn't ever love myself, because I didn't know what love was, you know? Yeah, you know, I know my parents love me, but parents are parents, you know, and they mess up sometimes. And a lot of people, you know, be like, yeah, that's why I'm not on social media, or that's why I don't read magazines and this and that. And that's fine if that's your choice of what you want to do, but you should be able to look at stuff like that and not allow it to affect you. And if it does, you have to take a step back, because it's something within you that it needs to be healed. Your appearance, or, you know, shaming yourself or not feeling good enough, or whatever the case may be, you gotta find what that is and heal that person, that inner person. You have to heal the inner version of you, is what I'm trying to say. And it's not even just like about being nice to yourself. You gotta be nice to others too. Like, I was leaving the theater and a guy was walking behind me. And when I held the door for him, like I waited to hold the door for him, and he was just like, and he quickly, like, you know, started walking forward, and he was like, wow, I really appreciate that. And I was just like, yeah, like, no big deal. He's like, no one's ever done that for me. And I was like, held the door? And I was like, no one's held the door for you? He's like, no. He's like, no. I was just like, no, I'm sorry that no one's ever held the door for you. That's really rude. But he was so, I say this to say, he was so appreciative. He was so appreciative of it. And I was just like, it made me feel grateful, you know, that I was able to do that for him and be that first person in his life to ever do that. But like, damn, like what world do we live in where, you know, being nice is not, I don't know. It just, that really made me sad. That made me really, really sad. Like, wow. Like, people, we got to do better. We got to do better when it comes to ourselves, but to others and just all around in general. Like, it doesn't take much to be kind. It doesn't take much to be nice. And it's not just about you. It's not just about what you look like, what you feel like. It's about internally, are you happy with yourself? Internally, are you, like, what are you dealing with inside? And how are you projecting that on the outside? Because a lot of times people are mean because they're dealing with something inside. You know, it's not even just, I don't believe that people are born bad. I don't believe that people are born evil. I feel like, you know, things happen in our childhood that makes you, breaks you. And if you allow it to, though, you know, it's a lot of things that I can look back in my past from growing up and just in general relationships and be like, you know what, I'm gonna be the biggest dick of my life because at the end of the day, I went through X, Y, and Z, because I was abused, because I went through this, because, you know, of the things that I was told. You know, I was bullied. The list can go on. I've gone through it all. And it's many things I can say and act, but I choose to be the complete difference because of that. I don't want to be the reason why someone cries. I don't want to be the reason why someone hurts. I don't want to be the reason why someone feels ugly. You know, there's enough of that in the world, and it's just enough, you know. And going back to the movie, it's really sad that there are people out there and certain that will be placed out into the world to make you feel less than. But it's up to you to really look in the mirror and say, you know what, like, I don't care what anybody says. You think I'm fat, then guess what? That's your opinion, and it's okay, baby. Like, you're able to have your opinion, you know? You think I'm not, I don't know, hot enough, then that's your opinion. There's somebody out there that would actually look at me and say that I'm hot, that I'm beautiful, that I'm talented, that I'm amazing. Someone out there is going to see it, you know, in you. So one person doesn't think it, who cares, you know? Or if 1,000 people don't think it, it's okay. When you look in the mirror, are you happy? That's what you have to ask yourself. When I look in the mirror, what do I see? Am I happy with what I see? Okay, I am. All right, then. So who cares what anybody else has to say? Who cares what anybody thinks about my body? It's my body. I gotta sleep with this body. I gotta go through life with this body. So long as I'm genuinely, that's the thing, genuinely happy, not just walking around, ooh, I'm so fine and I look good and I'm happy. No, you're not. You can always tell somebody who's not genuinely happy with themselves. But, or at least I can. But be true to who you are. Don't ever feel like you have to live up to some standard or beauty image, or I'm not young enough. Baby, you're not old, you're marinated, okay? But at the same time, don't put somebody else down who is younger because they're younger and you feel bad about yourself, you know? Or if you're younger, don't put somebody else down for, you know, being older, or because they are older and in their image, oh, she has gray hair, or why doesn't she dye it? It's her body. Leave her alone. If she wants to do it, she wants to do it. If he wants to do it, he wants to do it, you know? Even, and you know, people, for instance, who do want to use Botox and stuff like that, if it makes you happy to do that to your body, that's your choice. It's their choice. It's long as it makes you happy. If it doesn't make you happy and you're just trying to live up to some make-believe standard, you really got to start questioning yourself, like, why am I doing this? And why do I feel the need to please other people? You know, quit doing it. You will never, I'm telling you, you will not ever be happy in life trying to live up to other people's standards, because there's always going to be somebody who has something to say, you know? So yeah, guys. So the movie was extremely wild, entertaining. It really takes you on a journey of just like, I don't know. It made me love myself even more. Like, I was just like, oh my gosh, if I ever had any kind of doubt about my looks, about my image or anything, I love me now, because I would not ever want to do that to my body. I would not ever want to go through that, the whole process of it. And it's just, oh. And we really have to stop this whole like, oh, I wish I was younger thing. Guys, age is age. And yes, it's a beautiful thing. So beautiful to grow older. Why is that such a bad thing? Why do we make it such a bad thing? It is so beautiful to grow older. There's so many people who don't get to make it, you know, to 40 and 50 and 60 and 70 and 80. And to think, you know, people back in the day will live way longer than that. And and now we think 70 is old, 50 is old, 60 is old. It really just baffles my mind. And I don't know, I find it so weird, because I've had so many women older than me who would be like, oh, like I like when, you know, for instance, like I was in the store one time, and I think it was like a shirt or like some kind of outfit that I had picked up, and a lady was like, oh, that's gonna look so good on you. And I was just like, oh, thank you. She's like, in my day I would have wore it, but I'm too old for that now. And I remember feeling so sad, because I'm just like, what? Like, in my head, it's just like, what? And I turned to her and said, you're not old. I was like, you're marinated, girl. And like, you can tell she kind of just like, oh, like, haha. Like, she laughed, but I was just like, no, I'm serious. I was like, if you want to wear it, wear it. I was like, who cares about your age? You know, I'll never understand it. I don't care if I'm 60 years old. If I want to wear a crop top, I'm going to wear a crop top. And if you have a problem with it, too freaking bad. If I'm 70 years old and I want to wear ribbons in my hair, I'm going to wear freaking ribbons in my hair. I don't care. And I think it's absolutely ridiculous that we have this standard as women where, oh, when you get older, your life is over. No. No. Honestly, in my opinion, I'm so much happy. I'm happy to be the age that I am, because, you know, my teen years were just, I went through it, and you don't know who you are when you're younger. You know what I'm saying? Until you start really going through life and experiencing things, you don't know who you are. So you're not really living. You're kind of just existing and going with the flow and the motions of life, and you haven't experienced anything yet. So it's not really life. You're not really living your life. You don't live your life until you've gone through some stuff and you're like, well, won't do that again, you know? And even if you do it again 50,000 times, once you learn your lesson and come out of it, you kind of just, you wake up into the knowledge of like, okay, so this is living, you know? Now I'm living. Now I'm actually understanding life and getting life. And it's not until that moment, excuse me, I'm talking so much. I'm just really passionate about it, because I went through it so much being in the business, and it never was men. I never had any issues with men tearing my character down. It was one guy, actually, I take that back. I was trying to get into music, and there was this local artist, older guy, had the audacity enough to try to compare me to a woman who was way older than me, but she had so much work done. And I remember just being like, that's not me though. Like, I don't want plastic surgery. I don't need plastic surgery, you know. And it wasn't even about that. It's a whole story, which I'm going to share parts of my life with you guys, and just things I've gone through, and just give advice and stuff like that. But just to share, it was more about like him trying to get a part of me, if you get what I'm saying, and because I wouldn't, and he was trying to destroy my self-image and my emotions. Sorry guys. It was about him destroying my self-image and making me feel less than, to succumb to becoming something and doing things that are not on my agenda, are not in my realm of who I am as a person. My just everything. I know what he was trying to do. I felt it then, and I understood then because I had already gone through other stuff. So I kind of was hip to it and was just like, you know, like, F you, dude. Like, you're not trying to help me. I've gone through that so much, and just playing with my time and my emotions of knowing that what my passions were, and wanting me to be his girlfriend when he was married. And I was just like, you know what, F this. Like, screw you. Like, I'm beautiful. I know I'm beautiful. I know I'm talented. I don't need to be your girlfriend, your mistress, your whatever. Screw you. And I hope your wife leaves you and takes you for everything, because wow. But you know, looking back, it hasn't been too many guys. It was always women who tried to bring me down, to try to destroy my image or make me feel less than, or you get one or the other. Either they want to destroy your image and make you feel less than, or they tell you that you think you're too much. Oh, you think you're too much, and you think you're so beautiful and this and that. Well, which is it? Which is it, you know? Which way are we going? Am I too much? Am I too beautiful and think I'm all of that? Or am I just not beautiful at all and I look weird and I'm too mixed and my eyes are too big? And you know, the voices, you know, the chatter, the chit chat. If you listen to what other people have to say, it will completely destroy you and ruin you. Like, I don't even want to call it a horror movie. It's very grotesque. There's a lot of scenes that you're just like, especially the ending. They had one scene when she completely transformed into this, I don't even know what it was, but this thing, this blob of a clone of a mess. And you know, it was really bloody. Like, I thought The Crow was bloody. Like, this one was just like, do we really have to go there, you know? It was really bloody. So yeah, I love the movie. It definitely is an eye-opener to love yourself and to not be foolish into having to drop down to the standard of what other people feel about you and listening to others. Screw what people have to say. As long as you can look in the mirror and see beauty within yourself, because it really starts within yourself. You really have to work on your inner man, your inner person. And once you do the inner work, you will start to be able to appreciate the outer work. And yeah, just love yourself, guys. But I definitely love the movie. I 10 out of 10. Demi Moore was amazing in it. Margaret Qualley did an amazing job. I love the framework in the film. It was beautiful. I love the 80s vibes. I love the 80s, period. But yeah, I would definitely check it out. And yeah, until next time, guys. Have a great day. Like and subscribe, and leave your thoughts and comments if you saw it. What was your outlook on it, and how did you feel about everything that was going on? Because there was a lot more that happened, but like, that's all I'm going to say. Leave you guys there. But love you guys. Have a great day. Have a beautiful night. And yeah, until next time. Bye, guys.